This is an energy reading for turning tables. And, I never know what code name I'm going to get. I'll just put it that way. That was the last thing I was expecting because I didn't know what it means. I had to look it up. So the first thing that popped up was some song by Adele. Um, And then let me see here. Oh, okay. So this is the definition I found. If you aren't familiar with it, I don't know if they have this term in your country or not. But anyway, of course they have it in mine, and I didn't even know what it means. So when the tables are turned, the situation has changed, giving the advantage to the party who had previously been at a disadvantage. So that actually kind of makes sense for the situation that you were describing. So this force, whatever it is that you feel is, I almost want to say guiding you in a sense, but in a negative way, obviously, has the upper hand over you. And so, so you are at a disadvantage now, and how do you kind of get the upper hand in the situation? Okay, so, and that's really the main question of the reading. Is you have a second question here, like why is your life the way that it is? But that's probably linked, I'm going to assume, but your guides are going to say whatever they say. So here we go. So I'm just going to surround myself in a positive energy. This is how I always start. And this is just through visualization that I do this. So I'm just visualizing basically light around myself. And sometimes the light comes in with a color. Right now it's coming in with pink color. And so that means different things that I'll get to in a second. But so I'm going to visualize you surrounded in positive energy now. Okay, so I do have a guide coming up, and all I'm seeing are the hands, which is actually what happened when I received the code name as well, because when I receive the code name, I do the same thing. Surround myself in lights, I surround the person in lights. And when I first surrounded you in the light, I know that your sister was saying that you've been to at least one other psychic, or I'm a medium in my case, but you have been to someone who gives readings before. But I don't think that they surrounded you in any kind of protection or any kind of light when they were doing the reading, because or if you've had multiple readings done, I don't think that some mediums, some psychics work with actually surrounding themselves and the person in a protective space. Some just leave that out of the equation, and it seemed to me like it almost seemed like you'd never have that done, like in your life before. You'd never been surrounded, like, not that you don't have any kind of positivity around you, but I mean like you've never purposefully had that visualized over yourself before, or maybe even you yourself have never done like a visualization like that before, because The energetic reaction kind of felt like, what is this thing? What is this stuff like being placed around me? Like you almost didn't know what it was. And then your guide, when he came up, like I said, all I was seeing was the hands. Um, and he put them around your waist. And he was kind of, oh, that's weird, turning tables. Well, this was before I got the code name, and he was kind of spinning you. Um, and I use crystals a lot, and I have crystals out here, certain ones. And what I noticed at the beginning was they're all to do with grounding. They're all crystals that help a person ground and center themselves, which I didn't really feel like you needed that much of. I think you are pretty grounded. So that didn't really make any sense. And then I realized it's because whatever this energy is very stuck. It's very earthed and it's very grounded. And so then when your guide was doing this, turning you, it had the same kind of energy to it. And when he was turning you, you almost looked a little bit confused or something. But again, this feeling like almost like he kind of needed to move you and adjust you, almost get your feet and things moving, because energetically, obviously, because energetically this was stuck to you, like stuck to your legs and your feet, and like the lower half of you especially. But obviously it's clouds everything else, but it was a grounded energy stuck to you, stuck to the floor. Okay. Okay, so one thing that is coming in, I feel like they purposefully uh did that. They purposefully cued me in on that you uh have never really tried to activate yourself or like clear your energetic space at all. You're not really aware of how to do that. So that's why even in the beginning, I felt like I should explain this is a visualization I'm doing, because that's important. That's really important for you if you're saying that you feel this thing around you that is fogging up your energetic space. You need to have some tools that you can actually use, not just know, oh, I have this thing that is around me that is affecting me in this way. There are things that you need to do, which I realize you might not be that familiar with, so you might not be that comfortable with trying things like that. But it is important, if you are attacking something that's coming at you energetically, to put the same type of vibration out to it. You want to protect yourself in an energetic way. You want to attack this thing back in an energetic way. And okay, and they're showing me your hand now. You're kind of coming up like this. And when I was reading some of the definitions for turning tables, or turning the tables, it meant that you were getting the upper hand on the situation. So it means you are taking it. And even now, the guides are coming in with these tools. So there's something that you need to be doing. You can't just let this energy sit. And even when he was spinning you, you were very confused. So this is just this confusion. Why is it there? But at the same time, almost being comfortable with it or complacent with it. And I'm not even saying that you are mentally, but when there's no action you're taking to clear it because you don't know how, then it almost comes across like you are fine with it. Like even in this energies perspective, or thought form or entity, whatever it is, I'm sure your guides are going to get to that. But when you have this energy and you're doing nothing, then it will even come across to the energy like, you're okay with me there. You're fine with it there. Okay, this is another thing that came up when I surrounded you in the light the first time, when I was getting the code name, and they're bringing it up again. Okay, Okay, even this, I feel like I need to explain. Okay, so when I'm communicating to your guides and I'm saying they're bringing this up or they're bringing that up, what it is I'm receiving an image or I'm receiving a thought in my head, and then a lot of the time I'll get a feeling with it as well. I will feel like how people get a gut feeling, like you should do this or you should do that or this is bad or this is good to do. It's the same type of thing. It will be a feeling of what the image means or what the thought means. And even the thought, it will feel different. It will feel like it's somebody else's versus just a thought that I have in my own head. So it has a different feeling with it, a different vibration. Okay, so um, okay, somebody remind me of what the heck I was saying before I went into this thing. I was saying something about something that something that I saw before this, and I'm gonna have to get back to that because now I do see this. Uh, I do see something with you. What I'm not sure of is it a thought form or is it just a full-on entity? And basically what a thought form is it does have a consciousness, but it's something that is very underdeveloped. It's a very underdeveloped consciousness that just thinks a few things maybe, and it can advance as it evolves, as it grows its energy, as it gains more energy, like more mass in a way. Um, but it's not a flat out inner entity because an entity can go off on its own, whereas this kind of thing, a thought form, it needs someone else's energy to keep growing before it can become an entity. Whatever this thing is, it's very attached to you. And I know you were saying your friend as well, which I thought was really odd. But that's just my thought on it. That's not your guides on it. But it was very odd to me that your friend would have it too, because that would suggest that somehow you manifested this together. If it's a thought form, you had to have somehow created it together, or one of you created it and the other agreed with it. And now you both have this thing in your vibration, uh, or or one of you has it and the other one somehow ended up with it from being around the person. It was kind of odd. Normally, only one person would end up with that around them. Okay, so I'm gonna just see what your guides. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that was the other thing. Um, the other thing that came up when I was getting the code name was this energy of talking badly, almost like gossiping. Um, that any kind of gossip, even if it seems like it's in kind of a friendly way, it doesn't mean that much. For some reason, that really spurs on this thing. It's something that it can use. It's like this tornado of energy that it can use. It's like a chaotic energy. So, in other words, it's a vibrational match for it. So, when you're talking about a lot of things, you are negatively complaining, and maybe even about your life too. But what was specifically coming in, especially, is talking about other people in a bad way, gossiping about other people. That, okay, because they're sending me this feeling like this is something that you do that you should really be aware of, just to not do it at all, like cut it out completely. And don't gossip about people, don't talk about people. I'm also getting the energy like it's not like you're horrible about this. And it's not like they're getting on to you. They are just telling you this kind of energy is a match for this other energy that you want to pull away from you, that they are attempting to pull away from you. And so you need to help them with that. You need to help them by making sure, okay, again, they're coming in with visualizing, some kind of light around yourself, or if you pray or whatever it is that you do, something you believe in, you can even wear something, they're showing me. You could get like a crystal or something at like a new age store, if you would feel comfortable with that. But also to visualize light around yourself. Even smudging. This is, you can look up smudging. It's a Native American thing where they use smoke from a plant to cleanse the energy of a person. So basically it's just like a physical symbol of something that represents cleansing that's going into your auric field, and it's clearing it. So a lot of the time when you are clearing yourself, it's especially about your intention. It's about your intention that you're putting out, because this is all energy. So it's just a lot of intentions running around. That is what directs energy. What directs energy are intentions. I keep feeling a guy too, not just a girl. So I don't know if I'm assuming your friend was a girl. I can't remember if she said it was a girl or a guy. I'm assuming it's a girl. Um, but maybe it is a guy. But I feel like for some reason there's some guy affected by this. And this is where I almost wish I weren't doing a distance reading, so I could kind of just clarify real quickly with you. What the hell am I picking up on? Okay, so I'm just going to sit here for, okay, this is coming up again. Okay, because another thing that was coming up when I received the code name, this was another thing that came up real quick. There was, and that's why the pink energy too. Yeah, because I told you the pink energy came at first in the reading. Well, the pink has to do with your heart chakra. Green and pink are heart chakra colors. And so this is about joy and love and friendship, harmony, things like that. And it's about relationships. Okay, because I feel like there's a guy affected in this too. And there was almost this feeling like you like a guy, or maybe even love a guy or could love a guy, but this really affects your relationships too, is the energy of it. It feels like it creates this turmoil. That's why the gossiping is so bad. Okay, now I understand that, because I didn't really get why specifically the gossiping. That's the reason though, because this is talking about other people in a bad way. And this thing also screws up your relationships in a negative way, where it creates kind of this turmoil. And with work too, there's an energy of work too, like even with like promotions or things like that. This kind of energy could cloud that, but mainly again because of people's perception of you. Um, where things just don't work out because it's like other people are not seeing you in the right light where they would want to hire you or promote you or fall in love with you and this kind of thing. So it's not like you aren't a lovable person, um, or even that they're necessarily always seeing you in a bad light consciously or something. It's not necessarily conscious. It's an energy people are feeling that they don't want to get involved with exactly, okay? Or they don't want to go deep with. So this could really mess up your relationships and cause disharmony and cause confusion because there was this confusion like turning around. Okay, so the other thing that's coming in with the turning around is there are these patterns. Like something kind of works out and then it's like, yeah, it's kind of going to fall apart a little bit. Like it seems like it's getting there, but then it's not. So I only have 10 more minutes here. Um, and this is just such a I want to be able to get to all this in the time frame because they need to. I'm hoping that we have time to ask why the heck is it there? What is it? Why is it there? Um, but yeah, but what your guides are saying is right now they've been kind of focusing on there was some of how you clear it in the beginning, but then also this middle part has been especially about how it's affecting you, and also some of the things that you're doing that could be causing that. And I almost get this feeling like uh, that you should kind of put things off as far as like if you wanted to get hired or get promoted in a job, or like anything job related, um, relationships, I wouldn't really feel to put it off exactly, but I'm getting the feeling that you should understand when it comes to relationships that they're not really going to work out quite yet. And this is specifically romance. This is specifically a romantic relationship that kind of could evolve but isn't exactly yet. So they're saying to hold on to that. Don't So it's not something to totally give up on or something. um but I feel like that will kind of evolve as you are getting rid of this junk. Then as then I get a feeling again of career, and there again they're giving me this turning tables kind of thing. So in other words, I feel like the situation will totally change. Like you might not even be where you're at right now at all. You could be like in a totally different career when this has more cleared and stabilized. Because this is like affecting your energy and impacting it and kind of draining you energetically. I don't know if this is manifested physically yet where you're feeling physically tired, but energetically there's something draining you. Okay, so now one thing that your guides are coming through with is a past life. And I am seeing cords to your friend. I feel like this affects her relationships too. there really is a lot about relationships, specifically coming up with this energy. Relationships, specifically. So they're saying that they don't want to get into um, almost what happened in that lifetime. Okay, I get a feeling like you would almost blow that off, kind of, or feel uncomfortable with that. Um, to know what really happened. Okay, it's probably a kind of metaphysical kind of thing too. But this does go to a past lifetime. This is not the current lifetime. But also the other reason that they don't really want to get into it right now isn't just because of an openness thing. That is part of it, but also part of it is just because of time, because we only have a few more minutes for the reading. Okay, so what they want to focus on is, yeah, how do you begin clearing this? Okay, so again, the gossiping not to do, but then again, they're showing me jewelry. They're showing me like crystals. Okay, now before, the reason I said, okay, hold on a second though. Yeah, before, the reason that I was saying like praying or whatever is because I was seeing a picture of you praying. But now I'm seeing that again, and they're more giving me this energy of that that's something that would not really do much of anything. It's more about, not that there are not beings that can help you. Even at the front of the reading, I was calling on deities to make sure that the space was pure and protected, because I knew that there was this heavier energy in the reading that might try to disrupt things or whatnot. So even I was calling on some higher energies, um, like angels and deities, things like this. So I'm not really sure exactly why I'm getting this energy, because I'm also getting this energy almost like praying in a religious way is not going to help you, because you're not a victim to this thing, so you don't have to be rescued. So it's not really about going to some outside source outside of yourself and going, oh, please help me with this or whatever, if you're listening. you know if you would think to do that, they're saying that that would not really be anything that would help you, if that's something that you would think of. What would more help you is taking a more active role, where you see, okay, I am not just saying out there, oh, beings help me or whatever. I'm calling them. I'm calling them to myself purposefully. I'm calling them into my space, protect this space. So even if I'm calling something else, I'm taking an active role. I'm saying, hey, you, come here and do your thing and protect me. But then also, you can wear things, you can surround yourself in positive energies, you can take a bath and put salt in it, and with the intention of, I'm clearing my energy space. Okay. Okay, so I am getting that this is an entity. I am getting that this is an entity. And this is possible. This, because, and I'm saying that because I know your sister was kind of saying, how can this be an entity or whatever? It must be some, like, maybe a highly developed thought form, but not really an entity. But people can have entities attached to them. So that's definitely not unheard of. And that's not something impossible at all. But again, it's still something feeding off of you. That's why I wasn't sure if it was a thought form or an entity, because it feels like something feeding off of you. So it is kind of like a vampire like energy, but it feeds off of specific things. It feeds off of negative lower vibrations. It feeds off of negative speech. Um, like I was saying, when you're talking badly about others, um, and also just when you're feeling really low, when you're feeling really crappy, which it might even try to help you with. It might try to kind of help you to feel badly so that it can gain energy from you feeling badly. And also minimize other vibrations around you that are kind of toxic, or um, that are always going through something and always name calling or pointing the finger to someone else or cutting others down or speaking about someone in a bad way. So any of this you need to limit with other people as well. It's not just you. Um, the people around you affect your vibration too, and they put things into your aura. And this is for everybody. This happens for everybody. Um, people who they're around, it does affect them energetically. It's not just what you're saying over yourself, but if people um, or speaking, so not necessarily about yourself, but just speaking in general is in a way over yourself. But this is also who you're around. When you're next to someone and they're next to you, this means that even if you're not touching physically, your auras could very easily be touching, because auras extend beyond the body, especially if they're more open, which sometimes can be the case when you're around friends or when you are feeling happy. When you're feeling more closed off, your aura is going to close up more. It's going to be more closed off. So that's another thing that you can work on too, is closing your aura. And that's something that you can Google if you are interested in that. Because I don't really have time to get into that. Okay, so anything else that you guys want to say really quick? Okay. They're just sending me, they're showing me a hug and they are just sending me this feeling like they are there with you, even if you can't see them. They're saying it's like breathing. You can't see your breathing unless it's winter and it's really cold. You can't see your breathing, but you know you're doing it. You know it's there. Just like energy, scientifically we know it's there, even if we're not seeing it around us all the time. So they're just sending me a comforting feeling that they are there with you, and that they're helping you, and that there isn't anything that you can't handle. So you're going to be able to clear this. This is something that you can clear. So you have to put in a little bit of effort and not just expect it to fall apart or for something to do it for you. And also to stop just wondering, why is it there? Why me? That almost just perpetuates it, and attempt to do something about it. Even if you don't know about this stuff and you got to get on Google, okay, try doing some of the things that they're suggesting through this reading, and like I said, you can always just look it up on the internet. You can search how to do this. If you go to a New Age store. Even there, you can read about some of this stuff. Some people, I will tell you, at a New Age store and places like this are very, very, very into love and light. And so they might try and tell you you don't have a negative entity or something like that. They're very like that sometimes in some cases. Not all of them, but I'm just saying. So some of them might be kind of closed off to that, but there are ways that you can find out more information about how to deal with this energetically. Okay, so turning tables. Thank you very much for allowing me to do this reading for you. And I hope that this gave you some information that will help you to, begin clearing this up. Thank you so much.